our first virtual College 101 session. We are excited that each of you have decided to join us tonight and to gather important information about enrolling in the admissions process into colleges across America. My name is Dr. Derek Wise, and I serve at the great South Carolina State University. I am the state program leader for education, research, and extension with 1890 Research and Extension at South Carolina State University. So throughout this presentation, we ask that you take notes. We have a chat room, so if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat. Before we get started and go into presentations, I would love to know where all of you are from. So if you could type in your high school name in the chat room so we can see where you're from, and we'll start with that. Let me see what high schools are in our room tonight. Tonight, we will be hearing from a plethora of presenters from different colleges and universities from across the United States, giving you information that will be helpful as you all decide which college to choose. I'm excited about tonight and the wonderful presenters that we have. I see that we have Greenville Early College here, AC Flora, Westwood, Colleton County High School, Richland Northeast, I see you. From Columbia, I'm Spring Valley from Columbia. AC Flora in the house. Let me see who else. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, Marion, PD. Okay, Marion, I see a couple of Marion. Awesome, awesome. Well, keep on putting your high school name of New Tech High. Keep on putting your high school so we'll know where you located. So we're not going to prolong the program because we know everybody is busy. So I would like to introduce our first presenter, a young man that I met when I worked at California State University, Fullerton. He is now employed at Southern University, which is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is the orientation coordinator there. He's come with a wealth of knowledge. He started off as my student, became a friend, and now he's definitely a brother. One of my colleagues in student affairs, and he's going to talk about or open up with why college, why is obtaining a degree is so important. My good friend, Mr. Jordan Hilaire.
All right, everyone. How you doing? How you doing? My name is Jordan Hilaire, and I was asked by Dr. Wise to really share just a few minutes on, from my perspective, why college, right? Why college is important. Why should a high school student pursue college, and the importance of obtaining a degree. So definitely want to just kind of give, just a few minutes, kind of share like my experiences and also a little bit about me of like why college and how college kind of shaped my experience and also my life. So we'll definitely go right into it. All right, so just a little quick thing about me real quick. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. So if we have any, Los Angeles natives in the call, shout out to you. And also, I was a first generation college student, first generation college graduate. Again, like Dr. Wise mentioned, I received my bachelor's in African American Studies and a minor in Human Services at California State University, Fullerton, which is in Orange County, California. And I received my master's in education and counseling psychology at the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California, which is, you would say, Central California and Northern California. I definitely enjoy traveling. So I'm not sure if any of those that really like traveling, but I would definitely, in my last 5-6 years, I would definitely have the opportunity to really travel and meet a lot of different people at conferences, at different events, and being able to travel across the world has really definitely been a really great opportunity for me these last 5-6 years. And I'm definitely really big on sports as well. So, I definitely ran track. I played rugby as well in college. and I'm a really big Marvel fan. So if anyone's a Marvel fan, can get a thumbs up. Any Marvel fans? Anyone's watching, WandaVision right now in Disney Plus? Yeah, that's there you go. I like that. Nice. I love it. So I'm definitely a Marvel fan. So like Dr. Wise mentioned, I serve as the coordinator for orientation and first year programs at Southern University, which is a historically Black college university in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And for those that may not be familiar with orientation, so essentially my position really essentially requires me to work with high school students and also their parents as well, and also our campus partners on our campus at Southern University to essentially really provide the best, welcoming and also transition experience for those that are looking to attend Southern University as well. So I'm definitely enjoying my job, and I'm about 5-6 weeks in my current position, so I'm really loving it. So just real quick, man, why college, right? I think a lot of us, a lot of you all as high school students, and even me in my high school career, really tried to question myself, like, why college? Why do I want to attend college in general? And why do I want to attend a specific particular university as well, right? So for me, I would definitely say the first and one of the most important aspects of college when it comes to social capital, right? And you may ask yourself, what is social capital? Essentially, it means networking, right? You're gonna understand that once you attend college, you're gonna be introduced to a wide range of personalities, different people that have similar interests as you, someone that you may connect with on a spiritual level, academic level, social level, and there might be going to be some people that you might necessarily connect with at all, right? But that's really the kind of the great part about college, being able to really connect with different people from different places, different backgrounds that you might not have been really privy to in high school, junior high school, et cetera, et cetera. So being able to really connect with so many different people, getting involved in college is definitely something that's really kind of really really shaped my experience in college. If you can see a little picture of myself on the right of the PowerPoint, if you can like really see me, I'm like in the corner on the right side. I was really involved in an organization called APAC, which stands for the Alliance for the Preservation of African Consciousness. Shout out to Dr. Wise. He was actually my advisor my second year of me being the president of the organization. Honestly, that really, really shaped my experience in college going into my third year of school. I was able to really network with different people, meeting the vice president of the university, the president of the university, being able to really learn and really develop as a leader as well, really helped me to understand my purpose in college, but really understand like the importance of really focusing on my goals as a college student and being able to really use the transferable skills that I learned from being involved in college to be able to like my everyday life as well, right? So people wonder, of course, degree attainment, right? I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to college, right? I mean, we attend college to get our degree, right? To get a job in the future. So being able to really understand and recognize your purpose, understand your interests, recognize what do I have to give to the world? What do I have to give to a job? What do I have to give to certain people? So being able to really understand your purpose in college, being able to have, attain that specific degree to really identify what you're really good at and what you're great at and what you have a passion about to really pursue what you want to do later in life, whether that's 4 or 5 years or 6 years while you're in college right now. And also one thing that's really helped me out a lot as well, while kind of experiencing a lot of different things in college, is transferable life skills, right? So being able to really work with a lot of different people, working with different personalities. So that's customer service, right? Being able to work with a lot of different particular organizations on college that be able to really develop your management skills, right? Being able to really work with different personalities has really helped me out a lot in college as well, because, you know, most importantly, I currently work for, you know, work in management, I supervise students currently right now, right? I supervise graduate students, supervise professionals, right? And being able to do that, I wouldn't able to have that experience if I didn't really get involved in college. And that's why I definitely encourage you, you know, within your first couple of years in college, definitely making sure that you're trying to identify the way of the land in your university and see what's most interested to you and what you're connected with. But definitely getting involved in school is definitely important. Okay, so I didn't really get involved in college until, like, I would say, my third year of school, but being able to do that would definitely kind of open a lot of different doors in regards to what I'm currently doing right now. Okay, I didn't know that I would have a career in student affairs if I didn't get involved in college, right? If I didn't meet Dr. Wise later in my college career, if I didn't connect with students that had similar interests as me, but also that didn't have some interest in me, so I can have conversations with them and have opportunities to share different perspectives. So that's definitely something that I would definitely encourage you all to do. And lastly, honestly, have fun, right? I understand, like, college at the end of the day is most importantly about getting your degree, making sure that you have the opportunity to, you know, have money, have opportunity to take care of family or take care of yourself, you know, in the present, also in the future, but have fun as well, right? It's definitely important to make sure that you put yourself out there, go to social events, go to other events to make sure that you're really enjoying your experience, right? That's most important. But at the end of the day, it's all about obtaining that degree, right? So make sure that even though you want to maybe attend a party, which is great, I encourage you to, because I went to parties as well when I was in college, right? And I think that's very important in the college experience, being able to have that social aspect, whether that's a party or just hanging out with friends. But definitely make sure that you're utilizing that library, right? That's very important. If not the library, I know the library is not really a big thing nowadays, but even using Google, right, or internet, taking advantage of the resources that is in front of you and that you have access to, okay? So please make sure you do that. I think that's definitely important, but at the end of the day, though, please make sure you have fun. And that's what I did, and I was definitely very fortunate to have the college experience that I had because of all the different resources I had, because of the social capital I had, being able to get involved, because of opportunities to focus on what I wanted to do in my career, where I wanted to go, and being able to travel around the country to really meet different people, meet various people, being able to have those transferable skills to really set up my resume, my cover letter, and being able to have those interview skills to really set myself up for success. So those are some of my quick tips I would definitely say to encourage you all to really do when it comes to why college, the importance of college, and what are some things you should do as a high school student preparing yourself to move in, transition to college in the next year or two. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan Hilaire. Can we all give him a round of applause in the chat, a thumbs up? Yes. He also put his information there if you want to reach out to him. Or if you're interested in Southern University, please reach out to him. He's a good connect to have to know. Again, thank you, Mr. Hilaire. And if we have any questions for Mr. Hilaire, if you also will put it in the chat room as well. So for our next presenter, which I already introduced him, Mr. Tariq Evans, you know, Jordan Hilaire, Mr. Hilaire talked about having fun in college, and I was lucky to have the experience of attending a PWI, which is considered a predominantly white institution, and a HBCU. Some people prefer to attend liberal arts colleges. Some people prefer to attend technical colleges. So I think at this stage, you need to decide what do you think is best or your best route to success. So Mr. Tariq Evans is going to talk about, from an admissions counselor perspective, what are admissions counselors looking for when you apply to their college? Mr. Evans.
All right, thank you, Dr. Wise. So like Dr. Wise said, my name is Tariq Evans. I'm an admissions counselor at McDaniel College. I also am an alum of McDaniel. I graduated in 2018. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. I went to a small school in the middle of Westminster, Maryland. But now I work in admissions. So one thing that's important to know, you can go to the next slide. So one thing I'm going to talk about sort of what my school offers, what liberal arts is, sort of the difference between vocational technical training and a liberal arts. One thing that I think is most important when you're deciding a college is where you want to go and what you want to get out of that school. Not everybody's going to be a fan of a liberal arts. Not everybody's going to be a fan of technical or vocational training. But I think when you're applying for schools, know what you're trying to get out of that school and also what you can bring to that school. As far as liberal arts goes, so a lot of students think when they think liberal arts, it's just the humanities. We do focus on the humanities, but we also focus on natural sciences, social sciences, the arts, and also, like I said, humanities. Essentially, what liberal arts is creating well-rounded students and making them well-rounded people and applying what you're learning at this liberal arts school into the real world. So, for example, you're going to be taking classes, we call them scientific inquiry or quantitative reasoning, but essentially they're science classes, math classes. And what I liked about my liberal arts education was that I'm not a huge science person. I actually went to school, I got my degree in English and theater. Right now, I'm in getting my master's in public administration, but I knew science wasn't necessarily the route for me, but I knew I had to take a science course. So what I liked about the liberal arts approach is that I didn't have to take biology or I didn't have to take chemistry, but I was able to take a class called Women in Science. So when you're looking at colleges, sort of look at those things. But from an admissions perspective, we can go to the next slide. This is sort of what we do. Our job is to sell the college. So when you're talking to an admissions professional, sort of listen to what they have to say. And an honest admissions counselor is going to tell you the honest truth about what the school has to offer, and we'll be honest about whether if it's a good fit for you or not. So for me, being an artist and going to a liberal art school, that was a perfect fit for me. It also works for students who are involved in sciences, but it gives you more flexibility. That's something that you want to keep in mind when you're thinking about colleges, how flexible you can be, how flexible you want to be, and how you want to take these school skills and apply it once you get out of college or whatever the next steps are for you, whether it's professional school, whether it's or professional grad school, going out directly into the job market, sort of what when you're talking to an admissions counselor, sort of asking those questions, well, what can you offer me, or what different programs are there available, and what the difference or what values do your school have versus another school, or what your school stands out for. And so that's what we sort of talk about here at McDaniel College. We can go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So essentially, in a nutshell, I think this is pretty much universal when it comes to admissions. But I know for us, we take the Common Application. Some schools take the Common Application. The cool thing about the Common App is you can put a lot of different schools on one application and send it out to different schools instead of going directly to the school website and having to, write a different essay for every school or having to put in your information multiple times. So the Common App is a good resource for students, and a lot of schools use the Common App, or you can just go directly to the school website. I know for us at McDaniel, we don't have a preference. It's really just up to the school. Another thing is Transcript. A lot of students think that when they're applying for college, the main thing is their grades. Grades are very important, and we do look at their transcript, but what's more important is the rigor of your courses. Are you taking AP classes? Are you taking IB classes? Are you taking honors courses? Are you taking the challenging courses that your school offer, even if they don't offer all of those, high level classes? Are you challenging yourself in an academic setting? There's a difference between a student who has a 4.2 that's taking all regular classes and a student with a 3.6 or 3.2 that's taking AP, IB classes. And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that rigor of courses. Are you preparing yourself to take those next steps and get ready for college? And then also upwards trends. We understand as admissions counselor that things change, that people go through challenging times. Corona or COVID is a great example. Not every student learns virtually. So sometimes there's a dip in grades or there's a struggle there. We're looking at that upwards trend. So if you didn't do great your freshman year, your sophomore year, did you work towards improving your grades, whether it went from a C to a B or from a B to an A? That's what we're looking at as admissions counselors. So that transcript is an essential part of that college application. And then also a lot of schools require an essay. Now, when students think about essay, they get a little bit nervous because they think they always think that they have to write something that we want to hear. The reality is, when we're looking at those essays, I think it's universal for most schools, but we're looking at 50% narrative and 50% writing. So that narrative is really your opportunity to let the admissions counselor know who you are, let your personality shine through, because we don't always get to meet every student that walks in, or create a Zoom interview or do a virtual meeting with their student. So that narrative is really your opportunity to say, this is what I'm passionate about. This is how the school is going to help me, or this is what I've learned from certain experiences, or this is where I'm from. This is who I am as a person. It's not super academic when it comes to that writing. We are going to want to look at how well you write. Are you writing close to a college level or on a college level? Are you putting punctuation where it needs to be? So I say, get a proofreader, get somebody, whether it's a friend, a teacher, somebody, a parent, a guardian, doesn't matter. Find somebody to read that essay for you, because we're gonna find those, sometimes there are little errors that you don't get a chance to see because you wrote that paper or you wrote that essay. So get somebody to proofread it, because it makes it 10 times better. And it's not just about how well you're writing, just making sure that it's able to be understood, making sure that it's clear, concise thoughts. It doesn't have to be a 5-page essay, but make that essay really personal and important to you, so we can get to know who you are as a student and as a person. And then letters of recommendation are super important. I think all of you have some great people to write great recommendations about you. We don't need like 20 different people saying the same thing about you, but typically 2 or 3 good letters of recommendation from 2 or 3 really good people that are going to speak highly of you, and really get a chance to see who you are on an academic level or on a community level. What you're involved in is all important, because we're going to look at those letters of recommendation, and sometimes your application is complete, you have everything in there, but it's some missing pieces, or the student interacts great with these people, is sort of what those letter recommendations are going to be. And then a resume. It doesn't have to be fancy resume, but we want to see what you're involved in. Going to class and going home or doing homework is not always going to be enough. We want to see what extracurriculars you're involved in, whether it's sports. I was an actor, a dancer, an artist, or your community service. We want to see what else you're involved in. And I know right now test scores are iffy because of COVID. I know my school, we're 100% test optional. You should figure out if you need to take the SAT or the ACT, what tests you need to take, or if the school is test optional. Every school is going to accept those scores, whether they're test optional or not. I know for McDaniel, it's not a determining factor whether you're accepted or not. But I think making sure, asking those questions to those admissions representatives, because they know a lot about the school, and that's their job, to recruit students and to make sure that not only are you a good fit for the school, but the school is a good fit for you. So I think that's just admissions in a nutshell.
Oh my God, Mr. Evans, you gave so much good information. And I hope everybody on the line was listening and taking notes, because he is an admissions counselor. So he knows exactly what they're looking for from the rigor. I learned some stuff taking rigor classes that they're more interested into that. The common application, if you're not familiar with the common application, become familiar with it, because you can apply for multiple colleges just for one price. Now let's give Mr. Evans a round of applause. This is his email address and his phone number if you have any more questions. Also, you can put it in the chat box as well if you have any questions for Mr. Tariq Evans and Mr. Jordan Hilaire. Good information. And we're going to continue with the good information, and we're going to roll on to Orangeburg, South Carolina, to South Carolina State University. Mr. Movia Gooden and Miss Kathy Jameson will be talking to us about financial aid, which is hugely important. So I'm going to let them steal the show now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kathy Jameson, and I'm going to give you some general information about financial aid. First of all, financial aid is any type of resources that's used to help pay for educational expenses. It can come from different sources, like the federal government, the state government in the state that you live in, the school that you're planning to attend, or from private sources. Next slide, please. Common types of financial aid include grants, scholarships, loans, and employment opportunities. Grants and scholarships are considered free money. They don't have to be repaid. Loans are considered self-help. They do have to be repaid with interest. And employment opportunities are things like work-study positions, community service positions that allow students to work part-time on or off campus and earn money toward their expenses. Next slide. Some general eligibility requirements for receiving financial aid. You must be enrolled or accepted for enrollment in an eligible program of study. You must be pursuing a valid degree, certificate, or otherwise recognized credential. You need to be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen. If you're male, you need to be registered with Selective Service. Next slide, please. You also must have a valid Social Security number, not be in default on any federal aid programs or any repayment of federal grants, and you must be maintaining satisfactory academic progress. Within the Financial Aid Office, our job is to determine eligibility for federal student, well, all types of financial aid. We collect and review documentation to see what types of aid programs the students are qualified for. We package aid. Next slide. We send out award letters, which includes information regarding your estimated cost of attendance, the amount of financial aid that you're scheduled to receive, and the terms and conditions of your award. Next slide. The application process, in order to apply for financial aid, you first need to submit a Fafsa application. And that usually opens up October 1st of each year. And that will be the application cycle for the following school year. So for students who will be attending school in the fall of 2021, that application period actually opened up October 1st of 2020. If you are interested in attending South Carolina State University, you would need to put our school code on your application, which is listed there. And then you would also need to apply for admissions to state. And once you are accepted for admission and the school receives a copy of your FAFSA, we move forward with determining the types of financial aid you're eligible for. Now, some of the things that you need to complete the FAFSA is a FSA ID. And that's an account that you and your parent will need to create if you're a dependent student, so that you can submit your information, sign your application, and have it successfully processed by the Department of Education. And you do all of those things online, or you can submit a paper FAFSA, or you can do it on the app. Next slide. And you will need to provide information for yourself and a parent if you're dependent. You will need to sign the application. You can do that electronically or by submitting a signature page or paper FAFSA. And then once your information is submitted, it takes about 3 to 5 business days for it to be processed and for the schools that you listed to receive an official copy of your record. Some of the most common errors that we come across when we see FAFSA information is mistakes regarding Social Security numbers, conflicts between parental information, income listed by the student or the parent, not listing untaxed income, the amount of taxes paid, household size, things of that nature. And sometimes those errors can cause a FAFSA to be selected for a process called verification. And when that happens, financial aid office representatives have to request additional information in order to correct any discrepancies and correctly determine what you may be eligible for. Next slide. Again, here's a list of the most common types of financial aid. Like I said, they include loans, scholarships, work study, and grants. And these things, most of them will come through the Department of Education, which is federal financial aid. Some states will also offer these types of aid programs. Scholarships can come from the school that you're planning to attend or from private sources as well. Next slide. And here you will see information regarding the federal sources of financial aid. Once your FAFSA is processed, it will be assigned something that's called an EFC number, And that FC number will let us know what types of specific need-based aid you may be eligible for. And that's some of the information that you see here on these other slides. Okay, some of the things we like to caution students about: the FAFSA application is a free application, so you don't need to pay to submit it. You do need to go to the valid Department of Education website to submit the information. And like I said, I also like to encourage students that when you fill out the information, please provide an email address so that you can be notified once it's finished processing. And I also like to recommend that you go back to your account and read over the information, the comment section, etc. And that will tell you if there's any pending issues with your record that could possibly delay the processing of your financial aid. Here, oh, sorry, go back one slide, please. Okay, there you will see some websites where you can search for various scholarships. You can also reach out to the school that you're interested in attending to find out what specific scholarships they may offer, and then complete the application according to whatever deadlines they indicate. Next slide. There is the address for the FAFSA sites. Next slide. And if you need help or additional information on the financial aid process, you can always reach out to our office at South Carolina State University. We do have assigned counselors who handle specific alphabets. So that's just our general contact information. Once you reach us, we'll direct you to the right person that you need to speak to. Next slide. And that concludes that information.
Okay, so there is a question that's in there. Hi, I'm Demovia Gooden. I'm a financial aid counselor. I actually deal with scholarships. The question says FAFSA was completed November 2020, accepted to SCSU. When should we hear from financial aid, the financial aid office? If you were selected for verification, you've already heard from us. But there, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you heard from us through a company called Inceptia. Inceptia is our verification company. They have been sending notifications out since February 1st to let you all know you were selected for verification, so it won't delay once we start processing FAFSAs. If I'm not mistaken, Ms. Jameson, we're going to start processing the New Year FAFSA in the upcoming week or two. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So you'll be hearing from financial aid in the next, let's say, week and a half in reference to your aid being packaged, if you're able to be packaged. Now, if you completed the process with Inceptia, we're going to package you just like we package everyone else. But if you have not completed verification, you will not be packaged. Also, if you are a scholarship recipient from the university with institutional funds, you're required to have a FAFSA on file, a valid FAFSA. That means if you're selected for verification, you must make sure that you complete the process. Otherwise, the aid will be shown on your award, but it will not pay.
This is Ms. Young, the Director of Financial Aid. Ms. Gooden, can you or Ms. Jameson explain to them about the state grant? I think that slide was missing for those who from South Carolina that are interested in state grants.
Okay, so you want to talk about the Hope and the Life, or you want to talk about the South Carolina Need Bank? Okay, so the Hope and the Life are grants that's issued by the state. They're merit grant, they're merit scholarships based on your GPA, your class ranking, and your test scores. You must have 2 of the 3 in order to get the Life Scholarship, which is the test score, if I can remember, is a 22 for ACT and a 1200 for SAT. You have to rank in the top 30% of your class and have a 3.0 GPA. You have to have 2 to 3 to get the Life, and that's $5,000 for the academic year. Whereas the Hope, you can have a 3.0 and not have the rest of the requirements and get the Hope for the academic year, which is $2,800. And that's only for your first year at the university. Your South Carolina need-based grant is actually based on your need, and it's based on your expected family contribution on your FAFSA to determine if you're eligible for that. Now, granted, your expected contribution after being to the university for a while could make you eligible for it, but your GPA can also knock you out of play for it. You can't have a 0.1 and a 1.2 to get it. So you have to make sure that you maintain your GPA. And if you're trying to get to the Life Scholarship, if you come in with the Hope Scholarship, you have to earn 30 credit hours that each academic year and maintain a 3.0 GPA.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing. Thank you, Ms. Young, Ms. Gooden, and Ms. Jameson for that important information. Students, if you need help, or parents, if you need help with your financial aid, if you have any questions, their contact information is on the screen right now. Let's give them a round of applause. Still to this day, I've been to 3 different colleges, and I'm still get confused about Fafsa and financial aid. And so that's why I lean on my financial aid experts to lead me in the right direction. So please take note of everything that they said. If you have any questions, you can always still put them in the chat. They will be hanging around a little longer for our question and answer period at the end. One type of financial aid that they discussed were scholarships. And of course, in this college one-on-one call, we're not advocating for any particular college or university, because at the end of the day, we just want you all to move forward past high school and to attend a college, an accredited college, and to receive a degree. But one of the forms of financial aid is scholarships. So just by chance, you're still debating on what college to apply to, and how you can go to college for free, because that's what we all should be looking at. How can we go to college for free? Ms. Sydney Keith, my colleague, she's going to talk about the Agriculture Innovation Scholarship here at South Carolina State University, which is a full scholarship. Ms. Sydney Keith.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Sydney Keith, and I have the pleasure of working at South Carolina State University with the 1890 Research and Extension Program. So I will be talking to you about our Agriculture Innovation Scholarship tonight. Agriculture is the leading, or one of the leading industries in the state. For this scholarship, it is a full tuition-based scholarship, and it is renewable based off of your satisfactory academic performance. In addition to being a full tuition scholarship, you will receive a laptop, a book stipend, priority housing, and have access to USDA internships and professional development opportunities. This is great because not only do we want you to come to college for free, but we also want you to have a job once you graduate college and a job in your career field. That is very important. So for this scholarship, there are 4 majors that you can major in. The first one being agribusiness, second being family and consumer science business. You can thirdly be in family and consumer science nutrition. And the 4th one is family and consumer science child development. So there is a broad range of majors that you can be a part of for this scholarship. The minimum GPA is a 2.8, but a 3.0 is preferred. You have to first be accepted to South Carolina State University, a citizen of the United States, and be a leader within your community. I will put the direct link for the scholarship in the chat box, but I encourage all of the high school seniors on the call today to go ahead and apply. The scholarship closes April 1st, 2021, but it is a rolling scholarship admission. So go ahead and apply as soon as possible so that we can get you guys the scholarship, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Keith, for that valuable information. A great scholarship program for students interested in agriculture, agribusiness, nutrition, child development, a free ride a full ride. Let's give Ms. Keith a round of applause, and thank you for that information. I hope to see some of your names in our scholarship pool. As we continue, I think we're over halfway through our program, but I want you to continue to hang around because I know many of you are on the call for that free application waiver to South Carolina State University, and we'll be giving that information at the end of the call. And also, we want to answer your questions. And then we do have a quick survey that we want you to complete as well. At this time, which is my favorite part, which I believe is going to be my favorite part of this program, is to hear directly from college students. I understand that I have a job and that I exist on South Carolina State University because of students. Students is honestly what makes my job fun. Every day is a new day, and I just love journeying with students throughout their pathway to success. So we have a few students on our call today who's going to just briefly talk about their experiences as a college student. We have Mr. Eric from Western Carolina University, Ms. Uriah from University of South Carolina, Brandon from South Carolina State University, and Brianna from South Carolina State University. Brianna, are you on the call? Can we start with you?
Yes, sir, I'm right here.
Hey, Miss Brianna, so where are you from?
I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, and the Columbia natives in the chat.
Awesome. And which high school did you attend?
I attended no other than Lower Richland High School, home of the Diamond.
Lower Richland, I see you. What year are you at South Carolina State?
I'm currently a second semester sophomore.
Second semester sophomore, and your major?
I'm a biology major with a chemistry.
Biology major. Okay. What has been your favorite part about your college experience, attending South Carolina State University and the HBCU experience?
I would personally say my favorite part has being around just the community of people that look like me, being around people who are just so very supportive and, always pushing us to do our best. And I'm also a part of the Army ROTC program located on South Carolina State, if anyone's interested. That has really been the highlight of my college experience. Initially, I was supposed to attend the Citadel located in Charleston, South Carolina, but due to scholarship reasons, I ended up attending South Carolina State. I was contracted, and I've just really been having a profound year. Obviously, colleges, the experience comes with its ups and downs, especially in the middle of a pandemic, but it has really been an astounding, experience, just being around so many supportive people who constantly just push you to, reach your goals, tap into your inner self, and honestly just be your best you.
Awesome. And that one piece of advice that you would give to high school seniors who are trying to enroll in a college?
One piece of advice, I would just say, make sure you go to the college that, fits you. Don't go to an institution that your parents want you to go to, or because, it looks like this. Make sure that the college that you ultimately decide to go to, one, feels like a family, feels like a home away from home. Make sure you receive all the types of financial benefits that you can from that school. And just honestly put forth your best self, and honestly, every student is different. It's so many complexities within applying to colleges, within GPA, test scores, but never set yourself apart. Always think if someone else's child can come and be successful in college, so can you.
Awesome. You said it beautifully. Thank you for joining us. And stick around. Some students might have some questions for you. Can we give Ms. Brianna a round of applause? Awesome job. Mr. Uriah from University of South Carolina. Did I say your name correctly?
You did.
Awesome. I see you suited and booted for the presentation. I like that. You already made an A+ in my book. So you attend the University of South Carolina in Columbia. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Columbia as well.
Okay, which high school?
Ridgeview.
Our rivalry. I don't know, Uriah. You just lost a point with me. So what's your major at University of South Carolina?
So our honors college offers a special degree program called BARSC, which is basically where you can create your own degree plan by pulling classes from different schools. So my title officially is a BARSC major with biology, public health, and sociology as my concentrations.
Awesome. So what unique experiences have you had at the University of South Carolina? And can you also let us know what level you are, what semester you're in?
Gotcha. Well, I'm a senior and I'm getting ready to graduate in May.
Hey,
And I would say that my experiences have really been centered around just having to hustle a little bit. Money was an issue, so when you get on college, you'll quickly find out that there are jobs everywhere. I've had opportunities to work as a tutor. I've had opportunities to work in research labs. I've had opportunities to work as a resident mentor or a resident advisor, as some schools call them. But just being able to develop myself in a bunch of different professional settings has been amazing. And then I've also been able to explore my own academic passions through those different professional environments. So
awesome. Now that you are a senior, how has it been transforming into a young man and that developmental process, living away from your parents?
it was definitely tough. And I think that the one of the key concepts that you have to get used to in college is just being comfortable, being uncomfortable, going into spaces where, you know, this may not be familiar to you. There may not be anybody in your family who's ever done this before. You may be taking a test that nobody that you know is taking. You might be on your own, you know, studying for that particular test. So just understanding that when you reach the end of yourself, that's really when you're able to grow the most. That's when you're able to learn the most, develop the most qualities in your character, and to find the path that's the best for you. So being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Awesome. Mr. Uriah, you gave such a great answer. I'm going to give you that point back. I appreciate you being on the call. Can we give Mr. Uriah a round of applause? Awesome job. Congratulations on graduation. We know it's going to happen in May. We're proud of you, and definitely keep in touch with us so we can follow you. Look like a man of great success, and you come dressed for what you are here to do. Mr. Eric from Western Carolina University in North Carolina. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody else?
Dude, I think we're doing good. I'm looking at these faces on this call. Everybody look like they're doing well. Mr. Eric, so you go to Western Carolina University, and I think your journey into college was a little different because from my understanding, you started at community college, then you went to a 4-year college. Can you talk briefly about that?
Yes, well, I figured it was best for me to start at community college just so I learned how to be more responsible and slowly more independent, you know, because college is I believe it prepared me to transition to a university setting, you know, helped me mature, evaluate my time, set priorities. I mean, it just really helped me turn into an adult, I guess.
Awesome. What year are you at Western?
I'm on my last semester, and I will get my undergrad in electrical engineering.
Wow, wow. Congratulations in advance. Now, at the community college, you were president of the Student Government Association. Can you talk to the students about how important it is to be involved in campus life?
Oh yeah, it's super important. I mean, not just from the networking point of view, but it also helps you to become a better leader and be more responsible. I mean, all in all, just being part of SGA Student Government Association just helped me mature, helped me become more responsible, more efficient. I mean, the people I met there are great. I still have friends, you know, that I made from there. Now they're lifelong friends instead of, you know, just class buddies or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome, awesome. And what's that one piece of advice that you would give to a high school senior as they're going through this college enrollment process?
Well, for one, brace yourself. You know, you're getting ready to face long days and longer nights, but it's all good. It's all worth it. It's part of the journey. I mean, you're just gonna enjoy it, you know.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Mr. Eric, we're definitely proud of you. Continue to keep shining and then fly among the Eagles, okay? Our last college student is Mr. Brendan. Are you on the call?
Sir, I'm here. How are you?
Awesome. I am doing awesome today. So, Mr. Brendan, you attend South Carolina State University. Where are you from and what's your major and what's your year?
I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, studying elementary education, and I am a graduating senior.
Hey, we got a couple graduating seniors on this call. I'm so proud of y'all already. So, Mr. Brendan, can you talk about, we have some parents on the call, and I don't know if your parents been involved in your college process, but can you give some advice to the parents about the college enrollment process and about how to let go of their young ones as they journey in their college life?
That's so funny that you asked me to talk about that because I was just not too long ago, I think last week, talking with somebody about how when my mom dropped me off at Mitchell Hall my freshman year, and after she had moved me in, it was not even like, it wasn't even an hour when she called and said, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Mama, you just got on the highway. What are you talking about?" And she was like, "I know, I know." And then she was telling me how she was crying and all of this type of stuff going down the highway. But I will tell you this, that parents, it's going to be hard to let go of your child when they go to college because you're going to be scared, because you really want them to do the right thing at the end of the day. But you all have to understand that they're making the big step of their life, which is furthering their education so they can better themselves. They're going to get into some things, but they are going to learn from it. I remember stepping into some things, but I had to learn from it, and I also had to grow up myself.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Well said, Brendan. So as I said earlier, I had the experience of attending a PWI and a HBCU. Both great experiences, very different experiences. You attend a HBCU. Can you shed some light into the HBCU culture for our students?
I will say that I know for me, South Carolina State University, the illustrious South Carolina State University, has been a major listen, it has taught me some things that I know that I can use in life. When you get on South Carolina State campus or any HBCU that you choose to go to, the culture is really great. I know I can only talk about my school because I mean, obviously I go here, but I know for me, when I got on South Carolina State campus, they were very welcoming. They didn't let me go astray. They led me in the right path. If there were any questions that I had, they were willing to answer them. They never looked at me side-eyed. They never pushed me to the side when I got on campus. And my culture here at South Carolina State University is a big, happy family. And I believe that's for every HBCU that's out there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I can attest to that. Mr. Brandon, that last piece of advice that you would give to a high school senior.
Well, I will say when you get on campus, because I have experienced this before, being in student life and leadership, and still to this day, do not stay in your room. Please get out, get involved, meet new people, become friends with other people because you may not know how those other people may benefit you in your life. Those people can come from many backgrounds that can give you advice during your time at whatever school that you choose, which I know that you're going to choose South Carolina State University, but please be willing to get involved, get out there, and get your name out there. That's all I really can say. Don't stay in your room.
Awesome. I think our future America is in good hands with people like Brendan, Eric, Uriah, and Brianna at the Ram. Can we give all of them a round of applause for their great insight? Again, we're so proud of each of you, and continue to shine, continue to shine, continue to be great, and continue to win. As we approach the 7 o'clock hour, we do want to take time to answer any questions. So if you have any questions, if you could put them in the chat now so we can answer them. Some of our facilitators are still on the call, and we just want to make sure that we answer your questions. Also, Ms. Sydney Reed is going to put the link to our survey in the chat box. So if each of you, each student or parent, if you're on the call, if you could click on the link and at the end of this call and answer the quick survey. We just want to see who we have on the call and make sure that we met our goal. Ms. Sydney Keith, do you want to go through the questions if there are any questions in the chat?
If anyone has any questions that they would like to ask any of the speakers on tonight, you can place them in the chat.
In the meantime, I see that we have Rock Hill in the house, Northwestern High School, Westwood High, Goose Creek High, Bamberg Earhart. How are you doing out there? And AC Floor. Okay. Awesome. I think there's a question.
So what are the GPA requirements for SC State University?
Oh, can anybody answer that?
Yes.
Okay. The GPA requirement for South Carolina State University, we're really looking for a 2.5. And again, for the Ag Innovation Scholarship, we are looking for a 2.8 with a 3.0 preferred.
Good question. Orangeburg Wickelson High just showed up. All right. So at this time, if there's no other questions, Mr. Mike, if you would put up that last PowerPoint slide, we want to leave our contact information. Again, my name is Dr. Derek Wise, and I serve as the State Program Leader for Education, Innovation, and Support at South Carolina State University. And my colleague, Ms. Sydney Keith, she served as the EIS, Education, Innovation, and Support agent. If you have any questions about anything that was discussed, or you need to get somebody contact information, give us a call, shoot us an email. We are here to answer your questions. The entire purpose of this workshop was just to provide you information, general information on how to enroll and get accepted into college. Before you leave, please make sure you click on that link so you can complete the survey. If you are a visitor, a student, or a parent on the call, it's imperative that we gather this information. So please click on the link and submit that survey tonight before you lay it down. We would like to again thank all of our facilitators from Southern University, from McDaniel College, from South Carolina State University, University of South Carolina, Western Carolina. Can we all give them one more round of applause? I am very appreciative of each of them. And there were people working behind the scenes, Mr. Mike, Mr. Maurice, Ms. Liz, Dr. Jermaine, Dr. Whitesides, that's on the call. We acknowledge you and we appreciate all that you're doing to ensure that students have the best information to enroll in college. I do see that we have one more question, and it say, what would be the best college to attend for registered nursing? What would be the best college to attend for registered nursing?
South Carolina State University.
Yes. So I think it has to go with what your needs and what your wants and what you're looking for out of a nursing school. I would love to, there's some great nursing programs in the state of South Carolina. And I think that would be a something that we can do to research with you. So if the person who answered this question, I will, Ms. Sydney Keith, if you can follow up with her one-on-one via email after this call, and so we can start a dialogue to answer that question. But when we start, honestly, when we talk about best colleges, best looks different for different individuals. Some people liberal arts, some people HBCU, some people PWI, some people want to go as far away from home as possible. So California is where they want to go. But we can help narrow that search down. Again, everyone, thank you for attending. If you have any questions, any comments, please let us know. And hopefully, although we're not advocating for any one college, but hopefully I can see many of you on the campus of South Carolina State University come fall 2020. Again, everyone have a great night and continue to soar with the Eagles. Take care.